impulsivity, and a want to blend into the crowd. This is the thought process that Faye Webster took when she released her latest outing. Faye Webster releases her 5th studio album, Underdressed, at the Symphony. For those who don't know, Faye Webster is a country folk alternative artist based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Releasing music under secretly Canadian, while not actually being Canadian, possibly. Webster's been releasing music since about 2013, when she released her debut album, Run and Tell. For people who are more familiar with country, this is something you might expect from somebody who makes country music. This is a more traditional sounding country album. But if you know Faye Webster, then you know that this isn't a sound she stayed with. Later adopting her own sound in 2019 with the release of her album Atlanta Millionaires Club, she started to adopt less country sounds and more alternative rock sounds. And it was certainly different for someone more known in the country scene. Though you wouldn't get that upon first listen, because this album is a complete vibe from beginning to end. But for her 5th studio album, Webster goes the route of the breakup album. However, unlike most breakup albums, where most people are talking about their healing, they want to talk bad about their ex, they want to say that they're empowered and they're ready to move on, Webster's just living her own life. Songs like eBay Purchase History and Feel Good Today really illustrate that point, because she's not really doing anything profound here. She's just telling you what's going on. I got paid yesterday. I'll probably buy something dumb because I'm pretty childish, but all my friends are the same. Just find us something to do. Find a new hobby just to ditch it. It almost sounds like her lyrics are something where she's just trying to take her mind off something. This album reminded me a lot of Let's Start Here by Lil Yachty. And that's not just because Lil Yachty shows up on Lego Ring. It's an album that takes familiar sounds from country with your guitar twangs here and there and mixes them with a lot of more vibey alternative rock sounds. And what you got here is just an ear-warming listen from beginning to end. Something you really will like listening to and will really make you more or less feel good. Though I will say, if there's one thing I didn't like about this album, I thought there were a few songs on here that lasted a little bit too long. Great example, Thinking About You runs for about 6 minutes, and one might even argue that Thinking About You is 6 minutes long because that's the point of the song, that she's just perseverating on the idea of a breakup for so long. But honestly, for 6 minutes, it's around the 3 or 4 minute mark, I think, where the song it's just her repeating Thinking About You to the same guitar riff from beginning of that point to the end of that point. Something I think gets a little bit redundant when you hear it around the halfway marker. Though if you're listening to this album less for lyrical content and more for the sounds it delivers, you are really going to be impressed with this album. In fact, I'll be honest, it was really hard to pay attention to the lyrics on this because what you hear on here is just incredibly earwarming. On this album, there's way less lyrical content than there is musical composition, because there is a lot of musical composition on this album. I really like the big sounds you hear on something like But Not Kiss. As I mentioned, Lego Ring with Lil Yachty sounds a lot like what you hear on Lil Yachty's Let's Start Here. And even the incorporation of a symphony in the song Underdressed at the Symphony was really nice to hear. I think for country fans, this album's gonna sound incredibly uncanny valley because it's not like something you would expect from country. Though for first-time listeners, this is a really enjoyable album. It's got that really nice indie feel with a grand but not so grand feel. And while still incorporating elements of country here and there, it's honestly so far and few between that non-fans of country won't even notice it. To be honest with you, I didn't even think this was a country album upon first listen. I think Faye Webster really delivers on a truly good piece of music here. It's certainly different and it's an acquired taste, something you'll need to take a few listens to maybe embrace a little bit more, but I think Non-country fans are really going to enjoy this, and country fans might be a little confused listening to this, but I don't think it's too far out of the norm to be something that you're going to enjoy. Faye Webster's Underdressed at the Symphony is getting 4 scratches. I think this album delivers on a lot of comfortable vibes while also giving you a big but not so big feel upon listening to it. I think while country fans may be a little confused about this, I think this is something that isn't going to feel too alien to country fans, and for non-country fans, I think you're going to truly find something that you're going to enjoy here. But let me know your thoughts on this album. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Go down in those comments, let me know. While you're down there, don't forget to scratch that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell if you want to be notified on the latest Scratch Entertainment content. Hey, Suggestion Saturday's coming up, and I'm looking for suggestions. If you got a suggestion, you know what to do. Reach out to me on Instagram DMs, reach out to me on TikTok DMs. I would love to chat with you more. More content is coming soon. Don't forget to keep it locked to Scratch Entertainment.